and go and prepare a bunch of times.
Yeah.
It's like these people, they never never publish nothing because they want to do it perfect. Man, till you don't publish it, don't you start to perform it, you don't gonna see that a new world of errors and issues you have.
There's this bar, it's by this rapper, well, it's this crew called Days and Ava, but the bar is, you can spend a lifetime thinking of how you'll overpower this, but there's a thin line between patience and cowardice.
Yeah, totally.
And I was just like, yeah, just do it, man. Just go.
Yeah. It's like be too insecure or be too proud. It's part of the same. It's like two sides of the same coin. You are too insecure to let the people see your errors because you are too proud to show them. No, and it's kind of contradictory, but it's not.
It is, because ultimately that pride will mean that you have no output, nothing. You know,
nothing to show at the end. Yeah, it's kind of part of it. It's kind of part of the process. And what about the productions? What about the
making beats?
Yeah.
So I guess when me and my brothers were little, you know my brother, David. So me, Dan, and him,
the spy.
We would make little mixtapes, and but they were we'd make story tapes, so we'd click, play, and record on the cassette.
Yeah.
Invent these like little stories, and in the stories we would do sound effects, and so they'd be like and stuff like that, and just getting used to the helicopters, whatever, you name it. And I found that
sound effects and shit.
Sound effects, yeah. But just naturally, kids do that stuff, you know. But when I first started making beats, I was sampling from stuff, but it wasn't really doing it for me. And I guess I didn't really have that great sample records at that point, you know. And so I started just going back into those old tapes and exploiting them for the sound effects. And because they were recorded on tape, they had that really beautiful natural saturation that was kind of, and compression that comes with tape. And so I started using them all the way as sound effects and breakdowns in the beats. And that really influenced how I made beats.
Like a library of samplers, no? At some point.
Now I just walk around with a recorder, with a stereo recorder, and I record everything. You know, I have just libraries and libraries of sick stuff that I've managed to catch there in the moment when it's happening. There's one sample that I had, which I'm so sad that I haven't got nowadays. But it was, I've looked for it for years, but I caught the best moment. And so I started recording, and it was one of these like exercise machines, you know, where you put your feet in these two stirrups, and it has like a sort of really thick elastic here, and then you grab these handles. Yeah. And so what I was trying to do was I pulled it up to my chin like this, and I stood up, and the idea was to let it go and get the sort of whip crack. Yeah. But it was pulling so tightly, and I was stood up that I just fell over, right? And my hand like lost the control of the handle and just whipped down and smacked me like really hard in the knee, and I screamed like a dog in the moment of ecstasy. Yeah. And it was just the best sound effect, and I had my scream mixed in it as well.
A really scream of pain, like a real, not fake.
Exactly. But the funny thing is, Colette came around my house. She brought me exactly the same stretching device. I was like laughing, and I was telling her the story of way back when. So I recreated the scene, you know? And so, but this time...
So you tried to fuck you up again.
This time it flicked up and hit me in the face, and she was just rolling on the floor. She was laughing, you know how she laughs. And she was laughing so hard. It's that kind of experience, man. That's what happens when you're looking for the perfect noise.
That's fucking funny, man.